at my little slam pic. Okay, but I actually had this pic before Rosie even said slam pic. And I got this for my little girl, my youngest, because she loves pigs. She also loves bacon, so I'm dreading the day that she finds out that bacon is made out of pigs. But this is oink oink. So let's get into Real Housewives of Rhode Island. The episode picks up right where it ended off last week, which is Rosie packing up Kelsey and tossing her ass out. She packed her up and packed her out, shoving her out the door. Kelsey was in the car. She called Liz. Listen, Liz, the age gap between Liz and Kelsey is so big. Liz could legit be her mom. But I thought it was really weird because she immediately calls Liz, not Joellen, not Alicia, because I feel like Kelsey is definitely the type of person who peaked in high school. But the type of person she probably was in high school was probably the type that talked big shit if she had other people around, because that's definitely the type of girl who the only way that she would ever get into a fight with someone is if she would go and jump other people. That's a jumper. She would never be able to fight anyone one-on-one because we see it. We see it in Rosie's house. And everybody got to see it on TV. That's the crazy part, that the way she retold it to Liz would even go the way she said it, and which is why I always say, everybody is the hero of their own story, never the villain. And when she's on the phone with Liz, she's the hero of her own story. Because she's like, well, and I was saying this and I was saying that. And I was just like, girl, you weren't saying nothing. You were muted. So she's popping off to Liz. And again, I'm just thinking in my head, why are you calling Liz, not Joellen? Meanwhile, simultaneously, Rosie, she's on the phone with Ashley. Ashley and her man, I don't know where they are. They're shopping to prepare for trivia night for Audrey's. Is it Audrey's or Aubrey's? And look, I hope it brings them a lot of business. If nothing, Jared was smart and strategic. Ashley and Jared, they're having trivia night. And Joellen, if you didn't want Rula to be a part of this cast, if you had a problem with her, if you're still feeling whatever way you're feeling because of that whole Brian calling your job, the worst thing that you could have done was to make Rula your storyline, because you saw where Rula was sat. She was sat in second chair. This woman was on our television for not more than maybe 10-15 minutes, and she got second chair, while all of you other women were acting for the cameras, acting like a fool, getting your moments, wanting your moments. And who got second chair? Rula, sitting there. That's who got second chair. Not you, Kelsey, with your big ass storyline. Not Rosie, even though I do like Rosie. And look, Joellen out there acting like Captain Save-A-Ho and Nancy Drew. She did all that just to get second chair, sitting across from Rula, who didn't do jack shit. I'm gonna say, I don't know why the hell Liz was there. I mean, other than her popping off on Alicia, but here's the crazy part. And on social media, on all the different platforms, people are picking up on it. I felt like so many people picked up on the little gang ups. Listen, if you were an asshole in high school, middle school, you don't just all of a sudden stop being an asshole as a 30-year-old woman or as a 55-year-old woman. Something that I've noticed was that at that trivia night, Liz, she's trying to gaslight Rosie. First of all, she wasn't even letting Rosie talk, to the point that Joellen's like, hey, can you let her talk? Oh, she didn't like that, okay? She didn't like that. I felt that's the moment where she started feeling a certain way about Joellen. Let me tell you, Liz, just watching her on TV, she wanted to be the big dog. Now she doesn't like it that Joellen and Alicia, they're actually the fan favorites, and she don't like it. She wants to be the queen bee. When they were all at dinner together, Joellen, Liz, and what's her face, slam pick, I was going to call her Cassie, whatever. Kelsey, Jesus. She looks like a Kelsey too. Joellen brings it up that Rosie called her. The look on Liz's face, what are you people, like in freaking high school? What are you, like trying to relive your youth? But the way Liz and Kelsey are moving, I was like, that's stunted growth. That's the two of you peaking in high school, in your teenage years. Because the way they move, that's not grown-ass woman behavior. That's high school shit. So they look at each other. Joellen's like, I was just trying to be nice. Joellen, I know you ain't no punk. You don't need to give those two a reason, especially not fake ass Kelsey coming up with a whole entire storyline just to film. It was Joellen saying that, having to explain herself. And I'm like, why do you have to explain yourself? Oh, it's because Tweedledee and Tweedledum over there is trying to run a high school game on the cast. If you want to sit at our lunch table, you can talk to Rosie. So the worst thing that any of you could do is not film, which is why I said, Joellen, you weren't playing this smart about Rula. The best way to get someone off the show is to limit their screen time because Rula was the one that chose not to film. You, Joellen, made her a central storyline. So now they had to keep her in to keep the season moving. If you would have just nipped it after that sit down between you, Rula, Brian, and your husband, Gary, that would have been the end of it. Bravo executives would have been like, okay, full time, full time, full time, full time. Yeah, she hardly ever filmed. Friend up. But the fact that you didn't let that mouse go, you kept chewing on that bone, is why she's second seat, even though we got Rula a whole 5 minutes, okay? This whole entire season, you put all her scenes together, we got her for like 5, 10 minutes. And she's in second chair because of you, Joellen. So now you are tying the network's hand. They cannot be editing out this whole huge chunk, but they need to keep bringing her in and they need to keep inserting little 5-second clips of her. You make that person central to your storyline. Now you anchor that person onto the show. Okay, that whole entire dinner scene, that was such a weird as fuck dinner scene. And I never understood this for the Kelsey ass clenchers because they're like, oh, well, Rosie started with Kelsey first by talking about, her relationship. You have this woman sitting at a dinner table in front of her boyfriend, man, some guy she grabbed off Craigslist, I don't know, sitting there saying like, well, he still pays for my everything. I don't believe that. She's saying it, but I don't believe it. So you have her acting like a clown, thinking that, she's coming off a certain way. Like, girl, no, the way you coming off is looking like a damn clown. And Billy, she's making you look like a punk. If my son ever bought home a trollop like that, I would be like, son, I don't care if you're working at McDonald's, you could get a nicer girl. And that is the crazy shit too. You were Miss Rhode Island. You couldn't do anything with that. You were also with this man where you claim you were a kept woman for 10 years and you have nothing to show for it. See, that's what I don't understand with the Kelsey butt clenchers. Have you been watching the season? They all talk shit about each other and they're all putting each other's shit out there. But how is it a problem with Rosie saying it when you legit say it, make yourself look like a clown sitting next to this man at dinner, embarrassing him? Billy, I hope she did snatch you off Craigslist because if that is really a relationship, like she's making you look like such a punk. That don't even make sense why she's mad at Rosie or why she's got a problem with Rosie. I already said, I think she has a problem with Rosie. She's poking holes into her little storyline. Now, trivia night, whatever, she comes in doing the most, doing Kenya Moore hair care. If you guys don't watch Atlanta, I don't feel like explaining it to you. Alicia, she goes up to Rosie and the other ladies come over. And this is why, if you guys clocked it, I was like, oh yeah, they're scheming and plotting. And the two that are scheming and plotting is Kelsey and Liz. Because Alicia comes over there, Joellen comes over there. Liz doesn't even let Rosie talk, even though she's the one that keeps asking her the questions, but she keeps over talking to her that Joellen's like, let her talk, let her answer. If we as TV viewers see it, you best believe Joellen saw it in real time and she got the same thoughts that we did. Liz didn't like that. And you notice in the next scene, the attitude and the interaction between Liz and Joellen, Liz switches it up real fast. And I know Dolores, she went on to Tamra's podcast and said that, she thinks that Rosie's the reason why she didn't film a lot of the scenes. I don't think that's true. I think that's what Liz probably put in Dolores's head. And Dolores, as an established housewife, kind of side-eyeing that you didn't question that more. Because as an established housewife, you know how the plotting and scheming is. So the fact that you're just running with what Liz is telling you, and I do believe that it's Liz who said it, but listen, you should have been able to put 2 and 2 together and realize that if Rosie had that kind of power to decide who does or doesn't get to film, she would have been sitting in first chair, okay? So I'm surprised that Dolores doesn't question it more. I feel like with Alicia, just watching her, that is the ultimate girl's girl because she does not trust men. That's why Alicia, she doesn't have a problem with anybody. I feel like she's a very empathetic person. And she's like, I feel bad because I want to defend you, but I don't want to make you guys upset. Excuse me? Why would Gummy Liz be upset? Would she be upset because she's going around trying to run the show? You are the fan favorite, Alicia, okay? And then Alicia, she says, Joellen, you're okay with her, right? And Joellen's like, yeah, I send memes. I felt like Joellen punked out. Joellen, you're another fan favorite. I don't know why you were just like, yeah, I don't have a problem with Rosie, like it's not that deep. I don't care. That's why Alicia is my favorite. And I think that's why she is a fan favorite because Alicia, she didn't punk out. Alicia's not playing that game. Joellen, in the last 2 episodes, I was rooting for you, and I'm just like, oh, you punked out. The majority of people grow up and they're no longer Peter Pan. That legit is Peter Pan syndrome. Right now, I feel like with Joellen, you're letting them drag you back into high school. But a lot of people were like, Joellen should have been first chair. Here's the crazy part though. Whoever did that seating chart fucked it up so bad. It should have been on one side of the couch, Alicia, Rosie, Joellen, and Ashley. The only one they got right was Ashley. And I've noticed in interviews lately that Liz, she seems like she's trying to start something with Ashley. Ashley's low-hanging fruit, typical bully behavior, because I'm sure by now she knows that Rosie ain't no punk. Like typical high school bully behavior, ice her out, make her feel like a loner. It didn't work. She probably sees the fan reactions, and that's low-hanging fruit for her because she's coming after Ashley in a few of her interviews, and I was like, typical bully behavior. Ashley, girl, you've dealt with worse on Bachelor Nation, okay? You could handle this. You could handle this. But I need you to stop with the cry. I need you to stop with the crying, but you got it, okay? There was much worse on Bachelor Nation. You could handle it. Kelsey is the typical high school bully who can't read. You're so fat, you're so ugly, your mama's so fat, you're so poor, nobody likes you, you have no friends, go home and cry. Like legit, when Rosie packed her up, I won that pageant fair and square. I legit thought she was going to be like, I know you are, but what am I? She said she won that pageant fair and square. In this episode, she's like, go home and cry now. Go home and cry now. I'm surprised you didn't came out with your mama jokes. My toddler, she's been saying some things that kind of gets me upset, and it's because she hears it from her older siblings. She legit is calling people poopy head, okay? Watching that, I was like, this is so sad. Like, if your Bravo status was determined by who could read, that girl would have been fired instantly. Because I felt like that was what was happening. Like, I was expecting for her to be like, you're a poopy head. You're a poopy head. This is why I said she peaked in high school. She's emotionally stunted because a grown woman would have known how to read. By the way, I saw Rosie came with her receipts, and I also saw that like people were saying that is this basketball coach at Cooley. First of all, Providence is like, they're not even legit like that. The man said it himself. Like, I feel like I could actually win in Georgetown. The craziness out there, like, oh my God, he just suddenly left. No, you know why these people leave? They leave because they get better pay, they get better positions, or they're just tired of being with a team that don't win. So these crazy theories out there, you guys must not watch sports, because then every single coach, every single player, whoever leaves, they're all cheating. They're all cheating, because why else would they leave? Why else would anybody leave any job to go to a different job? Must be because they're cheating. But I will say this, I had no idea what that man looks like. I Googled him and I was like, that is not someone that she would be with. I don't believe it. And let me tell you, even on that Instagram post, Rosie, she made Kelsey look like a damn fool again, because she came with her receipts and she was like, my husband and I pay for our house because we work, and that's what grown-ass adults do. Yes, that is what grown-ass adults do. That is the crazy part. 10 years and you didn't even put anything to the side? Like, what were you doing, girl? All that, and you have nothing to show for it. That's why she's hating on Rosie. Anyway, let's get to the last 5 minutes of the episode. In the last 5 minutes of the episode, Rosie invites all the ladies to Boston. Leading up to it, I already noticed that Liz was catching an attitude with Joellen. This was probably very triggering for Joellen, because this was probably like what she was familiar with her mom growing up. When they were at the restaurant, the way that Joellen was trying to coddle Liz a little bit, like holding her hand, saying, I'm trying to be a good friend. What did I do wrong? I felt like this is something that you see in adult women, especially who had traumatic childhoods. But listen, in the next week's episode, it was like, oh, the defense mode comes out. Your system kicks into your sympathetic limbic system, which is the fight, flight, or freeze. First, you try to be compliant. They call it fawning. And when that doesn't work, you go into fight or flight. When Joellen was like, you pull my hair again and I will beat your ass, I was like, oh, Joellen, I could hang out with you. You're my kind of girl. There's not necessarily cliques for everybody. I know TV and movies make it seem like that, but no, for the majority of high school, people are just normal kids. You're not, the quote-unquote popular kids or the mean kids. The majority of high school is just normal kids. I feel like Liz and Kelsey were probably posers. I mean, I went to high school in New York City, so I mean, there's that. But I don't remember it being like, what TV makes it out to be. Like, high school was pretty normal, you know. Now, Liz, for whatever fucking crazy reason, the 2 weeks after the fact, decides to bring up out of nowhere, well, listen, the reason why I said what I said about you to blah, 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 blah was because you weren't really homeless. Stop it. You weren't homeless. I felt so bad for Alicia. So she started crying. That is a male centric woman because automatically, if I see somebody crying, I feel sympathetic. I cry watching TV. I cry reading a book. Oh my goodness, I just read a really good book. I was in tears. I was in freaking tears. It was so sad. Like I was all in my feels. But watching that, I was like, that is a male centric woman. And the way she kept on saying she was a good person, Alicia clocked it when she was like, I was trying to tell you how I was feeling. And instead of just listening to me, you wanted to dissect it so that you could have something over me. You clocked it, Alicia. I would not be surprised if they were told, yeah, we need to pivot away from the whole Rosie gang up. These ladies are assigned producers for a reason. The producers are supposed to move along the process, the storyline, the whatever. I would not be surprised if they were like, listen, you guys need to, let go of that whole Rosie angle. Because why else would you be bringing that up 2 weeks after the fact? You were probably being told, listen, this is not going to go over well with viewers. I'm sure Joellen's producers were probably told to her, listen, don't pick sides. Be friendly with both of them, and you need to let the whole ruler thing with Brian go because it's just starting to look crazy at this point. Kelsey's another one who's very male-centric. The fact that she's out there making a fool out of herself with her whole non-relationship storyline, gang ups, ice outs, they never look good to the viewers. I felt like Joellen and Alicia probably did listen because they're the type of person who, so they're willing to learn. Where Liz at 55 years old, you know how they say you can't teach an old dog a new trick at 55 years old? Liz, she probably is very much the I know it all type. I know it all. I know it better than anybody, everybody, nobody could tell me any better because I know it all. I would say though, Alicia Joellen, I think you already see it, but if you don't see it, you need to watch out for that one because the plotting and scheming is going to come from her. That's the one that you're going to need to watch for because the plotting and scheming is going to come from her. Like I said, I would not be surprised if she was the one that put it in Dolores's ears that, oh yeah, you're not filming because of Rosie. Rosie don't got it like that. If she had it like that, she would be sitting in first chair. Listen, according to the United States government and to the Department of Education, I already did a separate video clip about this. It's called the McKinney-Vento Act. And according to that act, Alicia was classified as homeless. Whether you think that America thinks of homelessness as living in the car or whatever, listen, as an American, I don't think that. I don't think homelessness only means living in a car. I'm sure there are people out there who thinks that, but according to the United States government, no, homelessness is multiple scenarios, and she is qualified as homeless. But the fact that you were trying to take that away from her, you know where this is going. And like I said, Alicia and Joellen, they were willing to listen and learn. But Liz, I'm sure she was being told the same thing. That's why I feel like she's kind of going after Ashley. If you saw some of the interviews that Liz has been doing, she seems to be going after Ashley, low hanging fruits, right? And that I feel like is why she resurrected a 2 week old non issue. Like, why are you bringing up something from 2 weeks ago that has absolutely no concern with you? I feel so bad for Alicia. Here's something else I caught in that van. I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but Liz, she goes, I'm not Rosie. Don't think you're going to be able to attack me. Oh, okay. So you thought Rosie was getting attacked, right? But you at that trivia night was like, nobody's attacking you. Nobody's attacking you. Stop it. Nobody's attacking you. Nobody's attacking you. But you were quick to say, I'm not Rosie. You're not going to be attacking me. Alicia clocked it. Your true colors are showing. Your true colors are showing. I see so much on my social media, on TikTok especially. TikTok is popping off. Everybody is saying that Liz has like this darkness about her. Next episode, we see Joellen and Liz go at it, and Liz did like some, I don't know, like bitch ass move, and she like tugged on Joellen's hair. I don't know what the hell she was doing. I'm like, girl, were you trying to pull her hair? Like, what were you doing? She did that to Alicia too. Joellen gets up in her face and was like, if you pull my hair again, I will beat your ass. Joellen, welcome back. Welcome back. Don't be a follower. Nobody likes a follower, okay? If you watch enough teenage drama, whether it's on TV or the movies, you know that every single bully has a lackey. So good for you, Joellen. Kudos to you. I like you again. I fluctuate. One minute I like someone, next minute I'm like, get the fuck out of my TV. Joellen, you're back on top. I'm demoting Rosie down a notch. You're now number 2. Alicia's still number 1. Alicia, I said this already though. If that man is stealing your Bravo paycheck, you need an FU fund. You need an FU fund. I will say though, I did like the scene with Alicia and Rula because Rula's like, girl, I want to help you basically get an FU fund. I like that because Rula, for some crazy ass reason, is staying with that potato looking man, but she has her own money. She'll be okay. So I did like that, they had that moment. By the way, Amanda, like Joellen's neighbor, popped up on the beach. Okay, whatever. Well, whatever. We didn't even get anything out of that. So, like, why did you even show up? Because, like, what was it? Unless you told me what the hell happened, like, why did you pop up 5 seconds onto my television screen just to tell me that you were Joellen's neighbor and that you used to be cool, but now you're not cool? Because that was like a 5 second of nothingness. Like, you could have, like, just not been on my TV screen with that BS, but okay. And that is the episode, guys. Let me know what you think about it.